Hello everybody, this is Observious bringing you guys another League of Legends commentary. And I did try recording a replay before to this, and I did try it 3 times in fact, and I'll probably address it if it's my actual lore replay and not just that one replay. But I have been getting error messages, so I'm not certain if this recording is going to go through. But all of that aside, Dominion is out. I have about 30 Dominion games to bring you at the point of this upload. I'll continue to play and record a few Dominion games, so that way I can maintain the channel for a bit. And so that'll be that. This was my first Dominion game playing Singed, as I figured Singed seems ideal on Dominion, the capture and hold map, where, you know, if people try to capture the points, I'll interrupt them with my poison. If they, you know, all try to jump me, I'll just flee. He's pretty speedy, he's hard to take down, he can slow down other people. He just seems like the awesome champion to do it with. He's fairly nice to play as, so you'll get to see all of that there, and I do apologize for that brief bit. So, in Dominion, you're going to have, since this is going to be the first game that I'm uploading, you are going to have generally 4 champions going top towards the windmill, since it's the farthest control point from both bases, and 1 person heading to the bottom lane to sort of maintain the lane, and if they're able to score a kill somehow against the other enemy champion down here, to push this control point. And this is the most, for those who are more familiar with Summoner's Rift, basically the laning portion. You generally don't see multiple champions here until the middle and late game. As far as game duration, the games generally last anywhere from 17 to 25 minutes. You can see that whenever you click on Dominion, it'll tell you that on the little tooltip when you're selecting a game mode and type of game. Now, in general, when I say send 4 people top, you don't send 4 people to capture this control point right here, which is, I believe, the refinery. I'm going to have to try to brush up on these names, even though I've played 30 plus games or so. I'm figuring 1 or 2 might not have been recorded, just so I can get all that right for you guys. But generally you send 1 person over here to the closest point, and then the other 3 go over here via the move speed shrine to the middle lane, or to this windmill, and try to take it that way. The 4th person after capping this point will usually come up to assist the 3 champions over here. If not, then they're making a wild bid to take this speed shrine over to this speed shrine and then start capping this point, or vice versa. And so over here you can see I've got poison. I flung Nocturne. Nocturne's going to throw his trail to interrupt. Good old Brand there. And you can see already that Alistar just went down like nothing. We're going to go ahead and just poison everybody and run around. I'm only talking about my perspective, as that's what the camera is mainly at in real life. I'm trying to go ahead and kill Nocturne, but I was making Annie eat poison too. I'm feared, so I can't do anything. I need to kill Nocturne. He's going to go ahead and die from poison. And I want to fling Annie, but that is going to go ahead and be my doom. Actually fireballs me, but the poison is going to go ahead and pick up the kill on her. As they both are dead, that leaves 2 of our champions to go ahead and cap the windmill. Meanwhile, I'm not too certain if... Yep, it looks like Malphite was able to win his lane, but he is not going to go ahead and try to neutralize that point. Instead, he's going to go ahead and use the time to recall. No, he's not going to recall. He's not even going to pick up the health. He's just going to go ahead and stay in the lane because he can. Nope, now he is going to go ahead and recall now that Urgot is coming down to the lane. Meanwhile, it looks like Kale and Brand are sticking around. It appears that Alistar disconnected. That's why we were able to get an easy kill on him earlier. And so, going back on the basics of Dominion, you have to control the majority of the control points, and what if you do, say we are currently at 3-2-2, their nexus points will tick down to 0. The more points that you have over them, say if we had 2 more points, or 3 more points, or 4, or all 5, the faster it drains. Additionally, if you're able to kill enemy champions, their points will drain, although I'm not too certain if it only drains when you have the same points. You can see -2 nexus health right there. And so that's that. Additionally, when a quest appears, I'll talk about those. First, you must neutralize the point before you can, of course, take it. I'm, of course, ignoring commentating all this action, just keeping the camera on it. But you can see in the center of the map there are 2 buffs called Storm buffs, Storm Shield, whatever. I call it the Storm buff. Storm Shield, Storm Shield, Lightning. Basically what it does is it gives you a shield to help cover that. And you can see I'm going after Annie at this point. I want this control point. I can't really take it with Annie there. There's a Nocturne coming up. It appears that he wasn't able to use his ultimate on anybody, so that was fairly nice. I'm mainly looking to poison this minion wave and just get them off of the lane, as they will clear that wave. And so Annie shouldn't be able to take this point unless she has a Tibbers. She is slow enough, but no, Brand is going to go ahead and pick up the kill there, although I think my poison might have been able to pick up the kill. Here you can see Jax being silly, chasing through the poison. And he is going to, of course, go ahead and get the leap, since I foolishly ran around and end up killing me anyways. Nocturne, meanwhile, is fighting Kale. Not certain who's going to win there. I want to say that, oh, looks like Kale's going to win this, maybe? I think Nocturne could have won that if he stuck around, especially with Vayne coming up from behind. And it looks like he has finally changed his mind. There's Jax coming in to go ahead and chase Kale. Kale's going to go ahead and pick up the health. And it looks like Jax via a leap is not going to get Kale after all. He didn't have a dodge proc ready. And so it looks like they're going to go ahead and back off. Malphite actually drawing their attention there. I didn't even see him coming. And so now you can see that there's 4 champions around here. I don't know why I'm going up here. I should probably cover that. And so a quest has appeared. Now, a quest will appear every 5 minutes, I think, or at the 5-minute mark, every 10 minutes. We'll find out in a second, I believe. But it appears at a regular interval between 2 points, one side controlled by yours, one side controlled by the enemy. It can appear at any point. For example, if we had controlled this point, it could have appeared down here, which would be pretty bad for us. If it had been after they'd taken this point, it could have appeared for these two. And basically what you want to do is you want to not let the enemy take this point, and you want to take the enemy's point. Once a quest point is taken, i.e. you actually capture the point, and that wasn't me killing somebody, I killed somebody over here. Once a quest objective is fulfilled, everyone will get a buff giving them 10% increased damage, and the Nexus will take additional damage. I can't remember the exact number, we will find out in a second, whenever one of us takes the point. Meanwhile, of course, we have taken the refinery, so that's all well and good. This is the... I don't even remember anymore, the quarry. Yep. And it looks like we are going to lose the windmill. Nope, looks like Brand is able to actually interrupt this, and the tower doing damage to Jax, not able to kill him before they can capture the point. Something to remember is that the towers are weaker than they are in Summoner's Rift, and they do not attack if a champion is capturing it. So that is something to remember. Now we have to deal with a hostile tower over there, and darkness getting thrown around by Nocturne's ultimate paranoia, of course making us all have reduced vision and only be able to see our vision, and let Nocturne jump across the map. And he's so very close to dying, not going to happen. Nocturne's going to recall. It's a pity I'm not there, but I'm busy covering this bottom lane. As Malphite wasn't there, he isn't there now, but it looks like I am, of course, going to go ahead and get jumped, and it looks like Alistar, he has his ultimate up, he's not taking too much from the poison, but he's still chasing blindly. Vayne's eating the poison too, and it looks like he's going to be okay. Nope, he's not. The poison is actually going to tick down on poor Alistar. Vayne's running for her life. She has the 10% extra damage, but Malphite could easily chew her up. And it looks like Nocturne wants to get the kill on me. He's being a little bit greedy. He goes in, he eats the Nocturne shard, and it looks like Malphite's not really doing any damage at all to Nocturne. I'm doing a lot of this damage here, but it looks like, oh, nope, he's finally attacking. Nocturne, he did rush that Frozen Heart, and oh no, I'm taking tower shots, as it appears I was interrupted on the capture point. We are going to go ahead and have to get out of there, and it looks like Malphite and us will be okay, although that tumble from Vayne will not put her in range. I'm actually waiting here, just throwing out that slow. Malphite did a really bad ultimate. He missed. He stopped over here, but he was not able to get the kill on Vayne, and so he's not even turning around. He should have just stayed and fought. Would have been able to get the kill on Nocturne earlier, and maybe even been able to get the kill on Vayne. Meanwhile, I'm of course going to go ahead and take this Storm buff, and you'll notice that I have points on this side of the screen. This is a personal score. It goes up whenever you take a relic, a health pack, you kill someone, you assist something, you neutralize or capture a point, you stop someone from taking a point. You'll see that in a second when I interrupt Alistar. If I can interrupt Alistar, nope, he's going to interrupt himself. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up the kill on Vayne via my lightning, as that is something that the Storm Shield will give you. It will give you a shield based on the current level that you are, and it will deal lightning damage every few seconds, kind of like a Blitzcrank ultimate passive. So that is just fairly nice to have. I'm of course going to go ahead and just clear out this minion with lots of poison. This is something that Cinch is good at. And, oh, by the way, you do, I believe, get a point for each minion you kill. I'm not too certain, I'll have to look at that again. And it looks like we will be able to pick up the kill there at the expense of poor Urgot. I really should go and cap the point. No, I should not, as Vayne has appeared. You can see that I was not really looking at the screen there. And it looks like things will be okay there. Meanwhile, Vayne and Annie have picked off Malphite. And And with this extremely large wave of minions, they're easily going to get this point long before Brand can get there. Brand is, of course, going to go ahead and pop up. And no, you do not want to do that now. Jax is going to be able to leap you due to that dodge from spell animation. And you can see that we're currently winning at 373 to 290. I'm, of course, going to go ahead and run to the map. Now, you can see, if you haven't noticed, the entire outer ring and the center ring, as well as little crescents around the points. So ideally, you want to be not seen as you're moving around the map. And so I'm going to go ahead and start heading for this point. Monster, meanwhile, has taken the storm buff, and it looks like he's coming for me, if I looked at that spot right. However, I'm of course not worried about that. I want to at least neutralize the point. Sure enough, here is Alistar, and there's Nocturne casting down that ultimate on me to charge to me. He didn't throw down that fear, though. Now he's going to go ahead and get that. He's going to get that off. I'm going to go ahead and throw down the slow. I'm poisoning them still. They're slowed, and Alistar's headbutt might be able to help me to escape. I don't think so. I think one trail... Nope, the trail's going to miss. I'm actually going to be living through this. I'm actually kiting Nasus, or not Nasus, Nocturne pretty hard. I'm going to go ahead and turn around and go into the fight. I don't think I can win this one, and know that, if you haven't noticed, that CC didn't interrupt the capture. I think. No, it didn't. I think Nocturne just canceled that just because he could. Alistar, meanwhile, will go ahead and finish that capture on the drill. I'm, of course, going to go ahead and run over, try to get a cap on the windmill, but then I'm going to go, oh, hey, Annie's there. You know, maybe I can kill Annie. Nope, because she can cast through walls. That's how awesome she is, and I'm, of course, going to go ahead and face check into the Fog of War and get headbutted back into the spawn timer. Meanwhile, Jax is, of course, going to go ahead and be waving his arms around, trying to capture our point. He's immediately going to run so he doesn't get killed by Kale and Brand. So that's that as far as there. Urgot slowly walking his way, clippity-clop, all the way there. He doesn't have boots at all. I don't know what he's doing. These two items make me think he's going for an Infinity Edge. But the longsword and the pickaxe, I don't remember what builds out of longsword and a pickaxe. So a little bit lost there. Brand's trying to capture the point. It does get cancelled by Alistar pretending to capture the point, or no. I guess that was a little bit of lag there on his headbutt. Brand looks like he might be able to neutralize this while Kale chases around Alistar. Alistar does flash towards the health pack, which doesn't increase your max health, it only heals you. And it looks like Jax, with the Gunblade Leap and Power combo, is able to pick up the kill on poor old Brand, and he's just going to completely decimate Kale, although Kale's ultimate for stalling death for a little bit. Same as with my fling and slow. As I come out of nowhere, for some reason, I'm not really watching myself, and there goes another leap, but he was exhausted, so that damage was reduced by 60%, and that kill will go down on Jax, so there's me being awesome. However, minions have neutralized and are slowly trying to take this point, although they have finally died, this control point, and that's something to remember. The tower will fire at minions, as long as, you know, an enemy champion isn't capturing it, until it gets neutralized. Once it gets neutralized, the minions actually take damage trying to capture the control point, and so you need to have a fairly large wave of minions in order to take a point by itself without a champion supporting. Here you can see me trying to get on this point. I get caught heavily out of position. I'm running around. I've been tibbered. I've been ultimated. Overall, just not very pretty at all. However, these two ultimates are on cooldown, so that will, of course, be a little bit helpful to Kale. Not so much Nocturne's ultimate being down as much as Annie's tibbers. And Brand, no, why are you making yourself known? I thought you would have gone around, but nope, it's because Annie did go ahead and show herself over here. So Brand is, of course, going to go ahead and defend the control point directly. Kale's wanting to be the person to sneak in from the side, throw down that slow. Now Annie cannot escape. She's going to go ahead and try to shred with that E. And she might not go down. I don't see it coming. Oh, no, that pillar of flame will do the job. Meanwhile, Nocturne's trying to ninja our refinery. I'm going to go ahead and run in here. And it looks like Urgot was able to land his E. He's able to get off two of those missiles. And due to his trail, he will be able to not escape as he made a wrong turn. And maybe he will be able to escape after all. It looks like Jax has made Kale back off, but it looks like they'll both be able to take care of him. I'm running down here to the, I've already forgotten, the quarry, to defend our quest objective, which I'm guessing appeared at the 10-minute mark, looking at how it is 13:14. That makes sense. That quest appears every 5 minutes unless that previous quest hasn't been taken yet. And it looks like Alistar with his ultimate is just going to go ahead and tank everything, be a boss, crowd control me to death. But it looks like Malphite may have slowed him enough for me to fling, and nope, that will not be the case, and Nocturne's Spear will in fact peel me off of him. And so there's Nocturne being a buddy. I'm going to talk about my item builds and stuff like that at a point if I ever get the opportunity to. As action is fairly ongoing, I'm going to go ahead and clear this minion wave. I don't really want to engage Nocturne directly. I don't think he'll let me. So I'm mainly just trying to catch him out of position, keep these minion waves pushed. I actually probably could engage right here if it wasn't for the fact that I saw Alistar lurking around over here. So I have no idea where he is. I'm going to go ahead and look for him, since that's what good people do, and you can see that he actually swung around looking for me. And so he's thinking, oh, it's empty, so he's going to go ahead, show his face over there. He's slowed, but nope, he's lost that move speed buff, but he's still going to be just fine, as he has, I believe, 405 move speed to my 402, which means he is slightly faster than me. And it looks like Vayne was able to pick up the kill onto Urgot before the tower finished off Vayne for Urgot, so that's nice there. Going 1 for 1 over there. Meanwhile, we're doing a 3-man push onto the bottom lane. I'm really tanky. Malphite's pretty tanky. The ultimate does pretty much neutralize Nocturne for the duration of that fight. He tossed down his ultimate, wasn't able to use it. And there goes Alistar, and so we're going to do a 3-man capture onto this quest point and get the quest objective. And you can see that kills her, causing Nexus health to go down. And where's the... I didn't see how many points it went down, so oh well. I was looking down here at the little bitty points I got for doing all of that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and try to take the Storm buff, and it looks like Malphite wants it too, but apparently I'm going to be a mean person and take it for myself, since that's just how I roll. Meanwhile, while we're off trying to be selfish and get the buff for ourselves, it looks like their entire team, short of Annie, have all gone down here, so I've decided it's a lost cause. I'm going to leave it. However, 2 of my teammates have not decided that, and I'm actually going to go after Annie with Brand to try to take this control point to just sort of keep them down a little bit further. I'm going to go ahead and get Tibbers, but... oh, okay, that was bad. I flung him out of Pillar of Fire, but the Brand ultimate will go off, but I'm just going to go ahead and get CC'd to death. Anyways, Brand is going to die to Nocturne. It's a matter of time, even with that Ghost. Yep, he's not going to make it, so he's dead. Meanwhile, Malphite and Urgot are going to try to chase down Jax. Didn't even know he was there because we were watching the fight. He's not hurt that much. It looks like Urgot's going to actually ultimate Alistar. I'm not certain if this was the best move. I don't see him dying anytime soon if this health is accurate, which it appears to actually be accurate. He's not dying, so that's that as far as there. Malphite is, of course, going to go ahead and make them take a long time to do this, and they might even be able to pick up the kill on Alistar. Nope, he is just going to go ahead and walk straight out of there, and with Vayne there doing that true damage, you're going to be able to just pick off for Malphite. However, Kayle and Brand are coming in to save the day down here. However, while all that's going on, I'm, of course, running off to try to get the control point over there, but Nocturne ninjing is basically saying, no, I want your refinery, so I'm turning around, leaving the windmill, going to make him fall back to the windmill for himself. And so we are going to be currently losing at 3-1 as far as points. We're going to go ahead and take this point back soon whenever these guys fall back, which will be now. And you can see I have to deal with Annie and Nocturne, so I'm not going to be really able to push down this point. I'm just feeling really tanky with this Sunfire Cape and this Rylai's. And as far as why I have Ninja Tabby and Odin's Veil, at the start of these Dominion matches, Dominion had only been out for a day, 2 days, not counting the beta. And so people were saying that, oh, Rammus is overpowered, and, you know, Rammus isn't really overpowered. It's just that on this map, for some reason, a lot of summoners seem to think that AD champions are where it's at. They're just the bee's knees. It's where to be. So that's part of why I was picking Singed, is because he is an AP champion, but he's also fairly tanky. You can see I get picked off there. Ugh, that was fairly nasty. And so I went ahead and got Ninja Tabby, since they have Jax, he's an auto-attacker, Nocturne, he's an auto-attacker, Vayne, he's an auto-attacker, Alistar, he uses abilities, but he's not that scary. He built nearly all tank, but he can be pretty mean if he wants to be, and of course Annie being their only AP. So I took Ninja Tabby to heavily reduce their damage via the dodge, although I don't actually have the defensive mastery for dodge. I'm actually 9-0-21. And so Brand just being really annoying to Alistar. I'm, of course, slowly coming into the fight. And so, anyways, I went Ninja Tabby and Mana Crystal at the start, as that just seems really awesome to do, since I get boots too, I get armor, I get dodge, and overall I'm going to go ahead and blow this ghost to try to kill Alistar, which I didn't even need to do since Kayle showed up. However, at the same time, it looks like Urgot's going to go ahead and die. The tower is not going to kill Vayne. Jax is going to start channeling the point, but he's not going to be able to even get it close to neutralized, as Malphite is going to show up. Meanwhile, I'm of course going to go ahead and say, hi, Storm Buff Annie, I'm going to exhaust you, you're poisoned, I'm just overall tower diving. Nocturne shows his face over here. I'm running. Why am I running over here? I should be doing circles. Annie would be dead by now. It looks like Annie is going to go ahead and die to Kale, but Kale is now going to die. I am going to go ahead and get the poison kill off on Nocturne and do that. You can see that I wasn't really concerned about about the Alistar magic damage or Annie's magic damage for a while, as of course I did get that Sunfire Cape and that Rylai's. Although I guess I did get an Odin's Veil. I was just sort of building tanky. I didn't really know what to build as far as on Singed. I do play a few more Singed games on Dominion, and ooh, I did a lot of damage with Bran there, but it looks like that was not going to be enough. He is going to have to fall back, and there's Alistar just bossing that Brand around, doing a lot of damage to this poor squishy guy. I'm surprised he's doing that much damage with just a Sheen. That's just Alistar being himself, I guess. Something that is interesting is that since the games don't really go long, and you don't have time to get a minion advantage, since you don't generally last hit, there's not a lot of resistances built unless you're building tanky. So if you're someone who is a damage dealing class, I don't know why he flashed there, you're going to have to... Oh, there's me stealing the kill and trying to keep him from killing Bran somehow, I guess with a lucky headbutt. Meanwhile down here, we're of course going to be fighting over the... Wow, what is this called? We will find out in just a second. I think it's the drill. I could be wrong. Nope, the boneyard. The boneyard. This is the drill, of course. Meanwhile, I'm of course going to go ahead and go chasing after Jax, who is of course going to leap off to the caster minion, get a free 30 gold. This is something you do get pretty decent gold from these minions. 30 gold from the caster minions, 60 gold from the super minions. And so I'm just going to go ahead and run around. I've turned off my poison even though I have tons and tons of mana. Just why not? And so it looks like I am going to go ahead and run down here after taking the storm buff, since just making Singed even more tanky. Nope, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to be a second or two away from it. There's Annie, there's Alistar. Nocturne's actually jumped down here to try to hold on to this point. We're currently losing 4 points to 1. We need to catch up. We have more points than them at 117 to 64. But we are losing heavily. You can see we're going from 115 to 113. I'm going to go ahead and fling Alistar out of the way, trying to get Kale to go away, but no, she's not. Instead, she's going to go ahead and drop an ultimate on herself, and wow, with that flash, she is going to live. Flash is still good here. I personally don't like using it due to its extremely long cooldown and the extremely short duration of this map. And it looks like Alistar will just try chasing me around, and I can't really do too much to him. You can see my poison's ticking his health away, but it's at such a small rate, and so I'm going to go ahead and flee. And it looks like Jax will try to interrupt, as, you know, this is his tower, so he can do this even though it's a 2v1. It looks like Urgot is going to go ahead and get picked off. Nope, there's the Ghost Blade going off on Urgot. Wasn't able to do anything, though. And so he is, of course, going to go ahead and eventually take down Jax, I guess, as he died, since the credit of the kill did, in fact, go to Urgot. And so Malphite and Brand cleaning up, going to go ahead and get out of there. There's a lot of action. I do apologize for not covering it all. That's why I was originally going to cover my perspective, but then I'm not even being honest on that. Alistar is, of course, chasing me. I'm going to make him eat some more poison, since I can. And, oh, look, there's a Vayne eating poison. You can see how much damage she's taking there. I might kill her just from poison alone. Nope, I am not. I think she picked up this health pack. Yes, she did. And she does have a little bit of Spell Vamp from that Emblem of Valor. And, oh, nice. With that tumble and those 2 shots, she is going to go ahead and pick up the kill on me. My poison will not be enough to kill her, especially after that shot. And so there's me being a bit of a noob. And Malphite, I think he can kill... Yep, Nocturne was thinking that he could get killed by Malphite, so he flashed away. And I'm pretty sure that the game is just seeding me with people that are also new to Dominion. I could be wrong. But I've actually digressed a bit from way back earlier when I was talking about how people tend to pick bruisers, so I generally pick AP. Since that's just sort of needed to balance things, since if they do take a Rammus, or someone who just builds a Thornmail, I can still do lots of damage and stuff like that. So, in Dominion, you want to have a balanced composition. I'll talk about that in some other game, as I think we're about to win or lose. Here we are, we're going to go ahead and capture the refinery. Now it's going to be 2 points to 3. We need to take this. You can see Annie's lurking around with that Tibbers bear right there. We need to cap something else quick, as Malphite's saying. We're currently losing 64 to 9. We need to get on this point. Annie's just going to throw down a W or something. Nope, there's a W and the Q. Tibbers is still alive. Things are ticking down. This is the only point that's nearby. Jax is also around. We're trying so very hard to neutralize this point, but with that Tibbers bear proccing, we're not going to be able to take down that point, neutralize it, and our Nexus will explode. So this first game will in fact get lost, and that will be the game. I do apologize for meandering off topic and talking just sporadically about the action, but that's what you get. Dominion is a very high-paced, high-action game, and this is the end of Game 1. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe, and this is Observious signing out.